The Russian tennis player spent 3 weeks in the status of the first racket of the world. Big pressure and big motivation, Daniil Medvedev returns Novak Djokovic to the lead in the ATP rankings. The Russian will try again to push the Serb, who was the first to record 361 weeks, and will now increase this period without participating in 2 consecutive American Masters tournaments. The next chance is in Miami, from March 23 to April 3. The 26-year-old Medvedev rose to the top spot for the first time on Monday, February 28. Daniil guaranteed the status of the first racket on February 24 after Djokovic unexpectedly lost to Jiri Veasley at a tournament in Dubai. The Russian received congratulations in Acapulco, where he defeated the Japanese Yoshihito Nishioka in the quarterfinals and did not use the chance for revenge in a new meeting with Rafael Nadal after the epic final of the Australian Open. Then he said that he continues to master the experience of the Big Three, Djokovic, Nadal and Roger Federer, as well as the fourth of the greatest players of our time, Andy Murray. Medvedev became the 27th tennis player in history who reached the first position in the ATP rankings. And in addition, the tallest of them, 198 centimeters. Daniil was the first non-Big Four leader since Andy Roddick was number 1 in 2004. And the third Russian on the list after Yevgeny Kafelnikov was No. 1 for 6 weeks, and Marat Safin led in total for 9 weeks. I think it's a lot of pressure, but at the same time a lot of motivation. I will try to do my best. And this is the same for every tournament, you strive to score the maximum number of points, Medvedev said before his debut in a new capacity at the Masters in Indian Wells. At the same time, Daniil thanked everyone for the congratulations. I dreamed of achieving this goal in my youth. And lately it has become more and more real. What I have always dreamed of and aspired to. Medvedev won the first match in the status of the leader of the world ranking against the Czech Tomáš Makač. In addition, this game was the first for him in a neutral status, taking into account the established restrictions for Russian tennis players. In the second round match, the first racket of the world took over in 2 sets 6-3, 6-2 in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Daniil acted calmly and collectedly, and after the game he thanked the audience. It was nice. I got a good reception from the public. I liked the way I played. I tried to fight for every ball, because sometimes the first matches can be really difficult. I'm happy with how everything went today, Medvedev said when asked how he assesses his debut match as the leader of the rating. Daniil also noticed that he felt the reality of his status. And highlighted the main thing. In fact, I was even interested in how other guys felt it, because, probably, everyone experienced different emotions because everyone is different. For me, this is a wonderful feeling. What I have always dreamed of and aspired to. At the same time, I want to play better and try to win more. For example, if we talk about the Australian Open. I definitely wanted to win, I was very close, but I could not do it. And I think, okay, if I get another chance like this, I should be better and stronger. The more tournaments you win, the more points you get and the more likely you are to be number 1 for more weeks and for a long time. That's what matters most to me. I usually try not to think too much about the past. More about the future and the present. And so sometimes I think that maybe it's not so good to even try to realize what you have achieved. Medvedev confirmed that he had heard about the need to reach the quarterfinals in Indian Wells to keep the first place, but this does not put additional pressure on him. He is already trying to defeat difficult opponents. Daniil separately noted, "Tennis is beautiful because every week and every season there is a new story in it, and therefore, with a good game and stable results, you should not get hung up on the rating as such." At the same press conference, Medvedev answered the question of whether he could justify the admission of Russian tennis players. "It is definitely not for me to decide. I follow the rules. I can't do anything else. Right now the rules are that we can fly under a neutral flag. Yes, I want to play my favorite sport. As long as I get a chance to do this, I'm going to play for the fans. For other people and for myself, of course. I also think that tennis is a very individual sport, but for now we have seen more suspensions of national teams or in some team sports. Yes, as long as I have a chance, I will play. Let's see how the situation develops. Is it better to be number 1 for 1 week or never get there?" Medvedev could not linger in Indian Wells, which is both attractive and uncomfortable for him. In the third round, he lost to Gael Monfils. losing the initiative in the second set, which became key, and taking out his anger for the defeat on the racket 6-4, 3-6, 1-6. The Russian lost his rhythm and called his game not the best, but paid tribute to the Frenchman. And once again he said, it is not easy for him to perform at an unusual tournament in the American desert. And the pressure from being number one in the world is not the reason at all. Definitely it's not about pressure. I thought it might give me more motivation. Well, I had it. I just haven't found my best tennis. Well, now I know I'm going to lose first place, and I have Miami to get it back. Usually in Miami I feel a little better in terms of tennis. So I'll try to do well there. You know, I always say when I play my best tennis, my good tennis, I'm really hard to beat. But the most difficult thing in tennis is to repeat it over and over again. That's where the big three are incredible. No matter the conditions or coverage, they always win tournaments or crazy matches. Yes, I need to try to be better, Medvedev said. Daniil also answered the question of how important it is for him to gain a foothold in the first place in the ranking, and not be a leader for a short time. Like Patrick Rafter and Carlos Moya, 1 and 2 weeks respectively. Well, of course, I want to be at the top for a long time, win a lot of helmets, and stay there for as many weeks as possible. You never know how your career will turn. I want to try to be better than I am now. Maybe it's better to fight or something. So the question is it better to be number one for, say, 1 week of your life or never get there? You know, I think it's better to at least touch it. So I will try my best in training, in matches, at the Grand Slam, at the Masters to achieve victories. Win as many tournaments and score as many points as possible, try to be number one for as long as possible. And if that doesn't happen, well, I guess it's the same. So is the top 100 or top 10 someone stays here for a long time, someone does not. And to achieve such an achievement in a career is definitely good. And when we talk about guys like Rafter or Moya, we call them ex-first rackets, although I don't even know how many weeks they were. And if you don't tell me, I can answer that they were a year or so. So yes, this coming Monday, March 21st, Djokovic will return to first place in the ATP rankings. Medvedev can push the Serb for the second time in his career and quickly return to the top if he reaches the semi-finals of the Masters in Miami. That's all for today. If the information was interesting to you, put likes, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.